Alright, we're back. So, did a couple chores and set up the stream again. And today we're going to try working on pants today. If it fails, and we will delete it. But we'll potentially get something cool, so. Let me set up this chat again. Okay. We don't have a lot of time, so it's basically already 1, so we have like an hour. So we'll try something. Let's go to modifier tab. I'm gonna combine all my hairs, so grab all these pieces. Okay, that looks so confusing. There you go. I think that's all of it. Just double checking. Combine them. Let's call this hair. Let's grab these, pull them down here. We're not actually not going to use this. I was thinking we'd create like a thing that goes around, but we're not going to do that. So like that. Let's try a couple different ways to do this. Look at my reference here. I'm kind of interested to see how I can handle making like small little rips in it, like kind of the ripple effect. We could do this a couple different ways. I could try sculpting on the form, but I feel like that's bad. Like pushing, pulling, trying to make it straight, like aligned. I think that's a bad idea. We could do something with shrink wrap, which would make sense to me. Okay. Let's move, oh, do I need the sphere? I think I'll just delete the sphere for now. So duplicate this over there. Let's, do I want to work with the solid cube or plane? Let's try plane. Let's try something. Let me make sure I'm not streaming the music here. Okay, so I'm just listening to YouTube music. We'll see if that other video gets copyrighted and blocked because I streamed Matrix soundtrack music. But hopefully it doesn't completely block it. We'll see. If it doesn't, I'll stream the second half with music again. If it does, then I'll just stream it with no music. Let's roughly place it here. So I'm kind of like thinking, I'll probably have this one overlap the other side. I'm trying to think how I want to do this though. I could break this into its own piece and that gives me more control of the top edge. I think that makes sense to me. Let's try that. So let's quickly, I'll do a save and let's go to snap mode. Let's go to face project. Actually, let's test it here. So edit mode. What does that do? Versus this mode. They seem to be doing the same thing. The picture looks like more of what I'm doing, so I'm gonna leave it there. Nearest. Face nearest. Don't know exactly the difference here. Never try that one. Whatever. And then basically, let's turn that on. Snap it. I might use my glove, my my drawing tablet for this to reduce clicking strain. Oh god, that's weird. That's not what I was expecting. Okay. So I think sculpting ignores the surface, although maybe there's a way to make it so it doesn't ignore the surface. Let's see if let's explore a little bit here. There's something that lets it snap as I do it. Yeah, it's okay, I don't see anything. Let's also move this down too, I think. I want to make this one go below. There you go. Now all my brush settings are here, and the name of the brush is here, which is fine with me. Then let's go back to edit mode. So right now I'm just focused on like the top piece that wraps around. Maybe add a cut here. Just kind of try to get this flowing. Let's see. I'll make my reference a little bit wider so I can see what happens on the back and front. Let's see what, back to this. Just extruding it. That, and it's gonna mirror, so let's save. Can I do a quick thing? Okay, that's not what I wanted. No. Okay, that's kind of cool. So let me try learning to do this. So F3 lets me search something. Search mirror. Add modifier mirror. Let's do all transforms, so it zeroes out. And I want to mirror on my cube I made. Let's see what this does. So if I go, there you go. Same thing on this side. So now we got something mirrored. Ooh, that's not good. Let's pull that out. Let's make sure it's following it generally. I want one more edge in the middle here as it gets closer to the symmetry. Don't want too much though, because then it gets hard to control. Looks like that's snapping in the wrong place. Is it? No, maybe not. Okay, so let's say we're happy with this. Save. We can go in and add thickness to this already. We could wait. Let's try adding thickness right away here, see what happens. So one thing that we need to do is we got to break this. So this breaks. And then it actually goes in like that. Oh, let me turn off snapping. So this goes in. The other side comes out. So it overlaps. Let's save. Let me think here. Select it all. Extrude it, and then pull it in. Purposely maybe give it more thickness than it really is. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, save. Edit, select all. Let's try Alt-S-ing it, pulling it out. It's getting a little thicker than it was supposed to be, but let's see. It's also backwards normal, so it's edit, select all, shift N. It's so it's obviously not perfectly thickened. It's like odd in different places, so we have to fix that. Just thinking about how I want to do this. I could do, let's see what this looks like real quick. So it kind of gives me an idea where the planes are. Okay, let's just leave it on sheet flat and sculpt a little bit. You know, kind of go in there and then adjust the scale, make it more unified in the scale and the correct size roughly. We could purposely make it look thicker though, honestly, because it's going to be a print, so could also do sphere base so I don't accidentally push the other side by mistake. Let's make it more stronger. Let's let this overlap. I don't mind right now. Okay. We don't have symmetry on, so gotta keep that in mind. Okay. Pull this side down maybe. Let's turn projection back on so I don't have to worry about hovering over the edge. I mean, hovering on the actual vertice. Right now it's pretty easy. We're just worrying about the thickness going this way, and then we're worrying about the size this way. So trying to make it a little bit thinner. Maybe make this more spaced out there. I'm okay with having it like asymmetrical. It adds a bit more like organicness to it, I think. Make sure I'm not selecting through this side and pushing that side. That could be what I'm doing too, so. Let's just do another pass, just in case, with sphere mode, so we didn't accidentally pull it or push it weirdly. Okay, so I'm kind of generally happy with that. Back to edit mode, save. I'm gonna pull this one out like this. It kind of curves out more, I think. We can exaggerate that more later, but generally I think it's okay. So I'm gonna save, and then let's work on the next piece. Let's grab that cube. So what do we want to do here? It's kind of weird. Maybe we shouldn't do this, but we could define the front piece. I'll just place it there, and then we'll use it as a reference, and then we'll adjust it later. So that like thing that's like tucks away the zipper, and we can adjust how it overlaps later. Maybe it goes like right here, like this. So we'll change that later probably, but for now, it's okay. Actually, I'll probably, I'll give it thickness too. So extrude, right click on to snap it back to where it was, and then Alt S, and then scale it in. We'll let it be extra thick, and we'll just let it overlap into the body. And select all faces, Shift N to like make the normals face out, basically. We'll probably add a cut here later, but for now, it's fine. The shape's there. And then this is the main piece now, so I think what I want to do is create another cube. And this one will be selection, inverse selection, I mean. We'll snap back on the body. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Snap this here. Oh, okay, so this snaps to vertices. Wait, does it? What's happening? Why is that? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what's... It's like following this edge. That's interesting. Huh. It snaps to that edge there. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, let me switch the other way. So this is using phase project. This is what I wanted. So it's not snapping to the verts or anything. Does this snap to verts? Let's see. Looks like there's more options here too. Huh, interesting. Does this snap to verts though? It does snap to verts. Yeah, it settles on verts too, which is kind of interesting. So if you wanted that, that's cool. But I don't want that. Okay, so kind of know the difference now between those two. Anyways, back to the modeling. So these, I think it's kind of interesting where there's some really exaggerated genes, and then there's ones that are kind of more, so we're more moderate. We try to get like a nice balance between like kind of exaggerated and then also, but it's like not too, what's that word I'm looking for? It's like modest, or what is that? Conservative, I think that was the word. So it's like conservative versus like, um, what would the other word be? Racy? I think that's a really safe word. So I'm looking at the geometry. There is geometry that goes this way, but there's also geometry that goes around the leg. So I have to decide where to break this. I would probably add a cut this way. So this kind of goes front to back. And then I would add another line of geometry. This is basically making low topo, but and this geometry would go around the leg, so that would be the cylinder around the leg. Why do we need two of these though? Well, I guess that's to show the form of this. So there's this form, there's this one that goes down this way, and then this one goes around the leg. I think that works. We can always add more, but that's the main division there. And then we just follow the surface of the topology. Going this way, and this would connect back this way. Geometry is really getting skewed here, but we'll probably add a mirror there. Just kind of seeing what I'm doing. Okay. I want to back them off the middle before I mirror, so I don't accidentally like have weird issues. Give it some room there. Save, and then let's also double check from here. Let's see what it looks like. So the center line is the blue line, so we're fine. Save. Let's try that thing again. So F3 to search and mirror. It was actually the last thing we did, so it's still here. That's cool. Mirror by the center cube. And I think we're fine. I kind of don't know. I kind of don't remember what bisect does. We'll leave it off for now. And don't need this. Okay, back to this view. What are we doing here? Let's bring this stuff more to the middle. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's try on bisect, see what that does. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so it's actually stopping there. Okay, okay. Let's undo that. What if I have this off and I have clipping on? What does that do? I think that's what I want. So I want bisect off and I want clipping on, I think. We'll have to play with it later, but I think this is what I want. This looks horrible, but I think we'll work on it here. So we'll see. We'll just make the topology right and then we'll adjust it later. See what's happening here. Bring those together. Save. Let's make this geometry meet up to the other side. We still have snapping on. Yeah, I can't see what I'm doing here. Like that. Okay, cool. Let's make this one go back. This guy. It's kind of ambiguous, like how many edges we would need going this way, but we'll just kind of just puts enough that it works for now. We could add more later. Maybe one there. Well, you know what? I probably shouldn't have put it there, but it's okay. We'll see what happens. Bring it up this way, let it cut here. Merge those. Shift R to repeat that. Okay. Oh god, that looks so bad. Are the normals right? Okay, the normals are fine on this. Let's look at the geometry again. What am I doing? Why can't I see that? There you go. Let's make sure this leg goes around this geometry goes around the leg. We might have something split off here. I'm not sure yet though. Save what we're doing. We'll connect those later. Let's see what I got a 3/4 view. See what's happening there. Okay. Let's make this reference wider. Okay. This one, where does this go? So this goes in. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, I'll see. I'll just bring it around and see what happens. Should we try to match this count though? Does that matter? Let's leave it here because I don't know what to do there. So let's try the other side. Okay, so what are we doing here? I guess what we could do is make this one come out all the way. We probably should have done this as one piece, but we'll let it be. So this one continues up this way. Maybe it comes out this way. We'll just do merge to last selected. Press Shift R. Shift R. And then we'll just go back through here and just merge them. Merge at center. Oh, let's turn on, go to Preferences, Navigation, turn on Auto Depth again. So now, wherever I click or I hover my mouse, it'll focus the rotation point, so it's much easier to work on small things. I like it off for like buildings, but I like it on for characters. You could also isolate, see what we're doing. Geometry's nice and clean so far. The flow's nice. These two go front to back. This one's supposed to go this way. Where does this connect? So it connects to this. So we have to figure that out. I don't know what's going to happen on inside, so that'll be interesting. We'll figure that out. But the flow has to work here, so this would flow this way. I'm also kind of curious. So right now it's hidden. Oh, it's doing whatever it wants. Okay. That's okay for now. Let's just let it do whatever it wants and not have to snap anything. So this goes here. Oh, that's not good. Make sure I don't have double edges. There you go. I accidentally just separated the edge there. I did it again. I duplicated this edge by mistake. Make sure I don't do that. Then what is it? Shift E. No. Why am I having trouble with this? E. That is weird. It's having a mental loading screen there. So E. We'll snap it on later. Okay, so now we actually have to branch away from this. So it's actually gonna go... I guess where this happens is also important. So does it snap away from here, or does it snap away from here, or snap away from here? Let's bring back the rest of the model and see what we're doing. So our idea was to snap from here. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That works. I like that. So it's kind of re-isolated again, and then we don't know how many points to work with, so we'll just kind of do one here. Potentially we just add more later, so one here, and then we meet up with this guy. I hit the wrong button. E. There. Merge the E. So now, if I add edge loop, it's perfect loop. And go back around and kind of sew these together. That, and then I don't know what's going to happen here yet. See what's happening down here. Let's do merge at last. And then these two, they're pretty close, so just merge at center. There you go. So yeah, that's a mystery still. What else is happening here? So this is working, this is working, this is working. I'm gonna add edge here, but I don't think I want to do that just yet because I probably have to like cut more if I do that. So I could add a triangle here. I probably want to add a cut here anyways, so I'll do that. Cut here. We could make it go this way. We could add a cut here. Make these connect. The triangles are kind of worrisome, but maybe they're not that bad. Maybe a cut here. I could probably add another cut inside of it, or an edge, and then that would make the triangles quads, actually. That would be interesting. We could try that. Because I want geometry here anyway, so quad. Now these become quads. That works. I feel like I'm getting lost in the sauce and making a low poly now, which is not what I wanted. But this will give me a lot of cleaner geometry to work with, so that's kind of why I'm doing it. Whoa, that's not good. Okay, so I think we're good, and I can add that edge loop up here. Probably pull this out as well. Let's turn off snapping. Pull these back. Why does it do that? What the hell? Oh. Huh. Do I want that on normal? That's interesting. I'm gonna set it back to global for now, and then maybe later I'll change it. Okay. So geometry's okay. This still might be causing issues, but we'll see later. Save. Let's let me see. Just a sec. Let me save. It looks really bad right now. And also, it was probably a bad idea to add this right now because we snapped to it, so it created this bump that we don't want, but it's okay. Let's add a thickness to it. So go back to isolate mode. Let's actually apply the subdiv. Shift-A, Alt-A, Control-A. I thought there was a shortcut to apply this instantly, but I was wrong. Control A. Huh, that's weird. I thought it would apply it. Oh, now it did. Wait, why? Why did it work this time? Okay, now it works. I don't know. Okay, so if you hover over it, you could press Control A and it applies it, but I guess I had to reselect it or something? That was weird. That's a little faster. That's cool. This is one bird. Let's add a thickness, so select it all. Let's do extrude, and then Alt S. Yeah, well, I'll pull in actually. I think pulling in's better for this. We'll see. And then I'll select all, Shift N. Times it. It's 120. So I got another hour basically. Let's try Alt S scaling this out too. So we're getting an issue where the bikini is poking through. So that'll be interesting to work on. Because if this is based on, if this is realistic, then this would be pushing this stuff in and also pushing on the body. But so we wouldn't see this, and it also, yeah, but because like if you, sometimes you might think like, okay, well I want to keep that shape, so I'll sculpt around it, but then physically it wouldn't make sense, where it's like this is like rigid and this is forming to that, and it's like I don't know. What is this doing? So do I like that? What does that feel like? Looks like a gemstone pants. So I want to sculpt this a lot. Let's work with the geometry we have and then see how far we can push it. Potentially shade smooth would help it as well. But maybe we shouldn't do that yet. So let's keep it flat just so that we see exactly what's happening with the faceted faces. Also, we could hide, let's actually undo that. Save, let's turn on symmetry for now because it's pretty symmetrical. And sculpt it in real quick. Let's actually make sure we have all transforms on it cleared too, so that way when it does mirror, it happens 1-to-1. It's I feel like it's kind of weak. What's happening here? Let's make this really strong, so like whatever's at the center of the cursor is affected. Bring this in. Let's save. Let's select this guy. Let's call this one bikini pants string. And I'll hide it for now. Save. Now we don't have that in our way. And we'll push this one as far as we can go. Getting my hand ready for the pen. We're using sphere-based fall off so it doesn't go through to the other side and accidentally push it. It's a little too strong, so I'm kind of flatten it out again so it's less more rounded. The selection's more rounded. If we keep this area kind of flatter, it might not really be noticed at all too. I'm not sure if I like how high or low this pants is yet. I'm not really sure. Let's try pushing this in. Make it flatter this way. Just make like incremental changes here. Right now they feel very bulky, and that's also because it's so low poly. Generally this will be lower than the top part, which it tucks into. So keeping it separate gives us that control of like that edge. We could also try a different mat cap potentially. Maybe get a better, different feeling to it. Does this happen on the model? Let's see. Let's try to flatten it more maybe. I think it needs another edge coming out this way. Let's see. Let me keep adjusting it and then we'll go in and add an extra edge, I think, going hugging the leg basically. This one comes out more. Keeping this line straight. Maybe this makes us ask the question of, do we have enough geometry to do this area? Not sure. Kind of itching to add geometry here. Let's let some of it poke through. Let it be what it is. Let's just smooth that. Yeah, just let it smooth out. Let's get a little weaker because it's so low. I kind of want to use this edge to define where the creases happen, like we're going in, but we'll see. Kind of average it out a bit more. Wait, I think I made a mistake here. I should probably go higher. I think this needs to go higher. Let's save for a sec. Hide it. Well, actually, it's fine. I think I'm looking at this to this. I think it's okay. Never mind. You can also back out and see how it feels from like an overall shape size. I think it's okay. I don't like this angle though. Let's turn on projected. I don't want to go too high though. Actually, I do want to go higher because I'm going to add an extra edge or an extra edge of faces on the leg, so squish it up higher here. I feel like there's not a definition here. Maybe round that off. What is this? What is this shape that's poking through? Oh. Let me combine and hide this maybe. This and this. Grab this and this. There. What's this? Oh, that's a body. I feel like it's too high. I mean, too low. Yeah, it's okay, whatever. Maybe there's not a geometry here. Let's see what the geometry is. Oh, that's pretty low. Let's put it on top actually, save. And then I'll just put one right here in the middle. And that'll help me cover it. Something like that. Let me see, make sure I smooth this. Yeah, it's okay. I'll pull this edge down maybe. Like that. There you go. It does feel really bulky still. I think this creases in more. go edit mode. I'll just pull this in. But it flattens out. Goes in. See how it feels. Kind of want to add that extra edge around the leg. Yeah, I think it needs an extra edge around the leg, so what is this doing? So this one I want coming out. Use my brush, my pen again, so I could do this. Less repetitive stress on the clicking. Am I putting it on the right spot? This feels like weird. Oh, I know why. Okay, that's like really tucked in, that's why. We'll just worry about what's happening down here for now, and then adjust that stuff on the inside later. I want this to have like a strong crease, like a plane change on the inside. So like, goes like that. Up here it's fine, it flattens out. So this one comes in more, kind of like that. Although I'm not sure how far to go. I'll just tuck it in for now and then decide later. What's this happening? Okay. Hmm. Something like that. And then, yeah, that's fine. Around the side. Didn't want to thicken that up, I think, here. Just making this like an even thickness over here. Then back over here. Okay, so I want to try pulling this edge out. So how do I do that? Wait, is this... Oh, it's already applied the mirror. I didn't know. I forgot. Let's isolate this for a sec and see what we have. I could pull this, I could extrude the faces down and out. It would work. I could delete the faces and then control the edge much better and then connect them back, but that's more work. Let's try extruding the faces, see what that does. So, let's see. So, let's unisolate here. Back to edit mode, and I'll just extrude. Then maybe slightly out. Kind of seeing how that feels. You have to pull this stuff in on the side, but it's overall okay. Kind of seeing how that feels like lengthwise. Yeah, it feels pretty good. I'll just fix it, and then I'll mirror it too. So save, isolate. I'm gonna delete this guy and this half. Well, what's happening there? Oh, there's a face on the inside. That's kind of good that we found that. So you could also see that if you do this. I think there's like a slight crease there. Yeah, you can see the crease happening there. You can see it, yeah, here. So once I delete it, it should be gone. How'd that happen? I guess I forgot to delete that face in there. Back to edit mode, heal that side. Just make sure nothing is there. Okay. Then let's get rid of this one, and oh, I want to try getting in the habit of doing it this way after you search it. See if it did what I want. It's not clipping, so I gotta turn that on. The cricket. And I'll apply it, just hover over. I guess we gotta go object mode and then control A. No. Control A. Edit mode, control A. Why does it not work? Control A. Control A. Oh, you hover over the modifier and you press control A, then it applies it. That way you could have like 2 or 3 modifiers, so like, let's go back for a sec. So if I added like subdiv on there, just control A. Yeah, so that way you could just hover over the one you want to merge, you control A and it applies. So that's cool. So let's do another subdiv on it, make sure it's working. So you can see it's all smooth now. It's like working. Get rid of that. Let's unisolate. Let's save, unisolate. Let's see, and then turn on. Okay, it's already on. Generally feels pretty good already. Just clean up this back area. Could probably go in with my Burks. Just reduce that. What does it look like from the back? Okay. We could probably bevel the edge too, and then add like those little pieces, but I don't know yet. We'll see. Just kind of smooth it maybe. I feel like I'm gonna go into autopilot if I do that, so let's look around the model and see if I can adjust the points more. See if can adjust it. Oh yeah, I want to keep it thick, so don't push that there. Let's save. I want to do something here real quick. Let's isolate it again. I want to pull these points down actually, like this. Grab this whole edge. See how that feels if I do this. Okay, how does that work? Yeah, that kind of works actually. It's not good here. It's pretty good here. I don't mind that it's like tapering that way. Let me go back to isolate. I think let's adjust it, make it flatter. I wonder if I can use the space mouse for this. What are we doing? We're using G key. Spamming G basically. I don't think I have the hotkey set up for that, so I would need to do that. It's pretty fast. It's like I have using Control Shift and G to do this. Let's make it thicker on the back just because. Just to match the front a little bit. Okay. And then maybe pull these in like this, kind of going to the closest surface. That feels better. And save. Let's see how it feels from this point of view. Use space mouse here. I kind of like how this flares. Wait, this feels weird. Let me try it. Okay. This needs to change a little. This needs to change here. See how it looks from the distance. Yeah, I don't like this angle. See from the side. Just looking at the silhouette overall. I don't know if I like this. What's happening there? Okay, so that kind of gave us an idea where to go. I think I want to pull this down. Down and out more. I do want to create like a flare maybe, so purposely push this in. Subtle flare. This angle kind of doesn't work for me. Let's see if I can push this in. Turn on sphere so I don't damage the backside. This is like where the crease is being defined on this edge, so making sure like this is always defining the crease on the inside. The leg is in the way. Is there a creative way we could see one side? We could hide. No, maybe we can't hide. We could try. I don't think it'll work though. So if I went here, edit, and hid this. Oops. Hit this side, then back to object. Uh-oh, looks like it's crashing. Looks like it brought it back. So when I get out of that mode, yeah, so it's independent, sadly. Well, let's unhide it. Thought it would do that, but it didn't. It was an interesting test. I guess we could do this and then go in there and be like, okay, I just want to just isolate it and then do that. In the reference, this gets creased here. But it's only there, and then the rest is increased. So another question is like, how much time do we spend on this like low poly stage, kind of defining the shape more? Do we jump to sculpt mode, like make this into like a sculpt, or like a what do you call it, like a remeshed, or do we kind of keep this like precious and not get out of this topology, because it's very clean. Let's try using a multi-res. I think that might be the answer. So we keep the geometry, but it just has more definition. Let's try that and see what happens. And then we won't worry about this poking through. We'll just wait till multi-res to solve that issue. Do our best to like define the shape correctly. And now I'm going to look at the silhouette of the thing here. Still have the shape here. Grab tool. Do I like how much is happening down there? Let's make this more sensitive so the fall off is strong. So I just like less points. Soften the fall off. I guess this would basically make it vert selection right here if I did this. Maybe we could tuck this down more. See the geometry. Looking at the silhouette there. Maybe this actually conforms more, makes it more round. And then I'm looking at the thickness going towards the, turn this back to here. The thickness hugging the body, so like kind of keeping a consistent thickness there. Purposely make it thicker than real pants so that it reads on the print. This has like a jagged edge, so I'm going to smooth it out there. What should be happening here? I think the cloth will flatten out a lot, and then maybe it's under tension, so it's straighter, I think. So like evenly spaced. This is going to poke through, but it's okay. Let's make this thicker. Bring this out more. We'll have to decide on what thickness to do here, but for now I'll just bring it out more. Oh, you know what? This isn't symmetrical, so let's go back a little. Turn on symmetry. Hopefully it still works here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, thicker here. We'll like probably add a bevel there. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with the thickness around here, but we'll see. I do like the thickness on the top though. Maybe even add more here. It's like not too far. Back to this guy. How's this far? This is like okay distance, honestly. Maybe make it shorter. Go up to like the 60% mark right there. From like front to back, 60% kind of. Right there. Yeah, that's cool. Let's look from this angle. Make that not poke through so much. Maybe make this flare even more. Making it flare in the back a bit. I won't make it flare here. Just on the silhouette sides, I think is cool. Okay, so generally, I think I pushed this as far as it can go. So we'll start to add geometry, I think. I think this top part doesn't look good too thick, so let's make it thinner. grab the pants and then kind of fill that gap a bit. Let's make sure we're on sphere mode just in case I don't want to break the other side. Okay, just pushing it in. Maybe flatten this area. Okay, I think that's good. Pull this out more. Okay, I think that's good. Say we could experiment with like multi-res. Before we do that though, let's add a button. So it'll be real quick and easy, just a cylinder. In the reference, there's a lot more tension, so this gets digged in. It's like slightly buried in, but we don't have the geometry for it yet, so we'll see. I'm also kind of curious, like, to see how the size of this influences the proportions of things. But we'll see. So let's add this bevel. I'll keep the inside like whatever. I think it'll get remeshed in anyway, so it's like, eh. That's an okay size, so I'll leave that there. We could add other elements too before we start remeshing. So I was thinking those like loops. Potential issues is the loops are going to be too tiny. So maybe just they hug the body and act like just like a bump. So try our best to keep it superficial in terms of like the detail. I'm thinking like this. What if I did an inset, but we don't actually cut through it, but we'll extrude this and then we'll scale it in. So we inset and then scale, and that way it doesn't have to worry about making a hole, but for us we see it as a hole. How close are they? Could probably bring it really well. How close do I want this? Let me try to do this. There you go. Let's see. Maybe we start defining this one. Let's see where we go with this. So add bevel. See what that looks like. Start sculpting this. Let's increase the fall off a bit, or decrease the fall off. Get softer selections. That's kind of what I was imagining. I could use the pinch brush. See how that feels. Probably flatten it this way. Let's use a slightly stronger grab. Yep, actually a weaker grab. Just kind of squashing it. Let me grab the pen and see. Okay, what time is it? It's 1:45, so it's about 35 more minutes before I have to go. kind of, I had the idea of working on the matrix scene and to practice basically learning how to composite and render. But the whole day was basically spent blocking out models, so and I guess setting it up, and it was the first time, so I'm kind of understand why it took so long just to get that far, but at the same time I feel like I didn't get to the meat of it, which makes me a little sad, but we'll try again tomorrow. We'll probably give it like 3 sessions or 4 sessions, let's say 4 sessions, and then we'll see what we learn from it. If we like it, we'll keep doing those composition studies. And if it doesn't really seem helpful, then we'll just not do it anymore. So it's kind of interesting to see, to figure out how to make everything proportional. Um, kind of also to look at the order of how to do things, like maybe the most important thing was to determine scale and to kind of define what the size of a person is, so you can then use that to make the next thing and the next thing and the next thing on. I was thinking I would keep it really simple though, like just have like planes, cubes, planes, and then lights. But we could try that maybe. I guess it depends on the scene too that you're doing. Because if it's very intricate and heavily reliant on the shape of the objects, then like 3 planes and a light might not cut it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like the scene I purposely picked that because I thought it would be relatively easy to start with, but maybe it's more complex than I thought it would be. It kind of makes you gain respect for like directors and all the people in movies who kind of create all that stuff, where we just watch it and it looks good, but we don't really know why. And let me see, I'm gonna mirror this one. Let's see, I'm gonna do alt transform, so the origin's at the center, and then I go duplicate, and then mirror global. Let's see, make sure the normals are fine. And then kind of back off and see. Yeah, it's interesting. It adds so this is the primary silhouette, and then this is like intermediate silhouettes. This one, let's see, intermediate silhouette. They have little pockets, so we could run the pocket along the side, kind of define a seam. You see at the reference here what they're doing. There's wrinkles too in the clothing, so not sure how to handle that yet. Well, maybe the multi-res could do it, but I feel like I'm not sure yet. We'll have to maybe we'll make copies, so we'll like save this as like a base mesh, and then we'll try both ways. So we'll try multi-resing it, and then we'll try just making it into a sculpt and see if that works better. But anyways, for the pocket, I think what I want to try is making a edge here. It's a cube. Where's my reference cube? Let's just delete this guy because he's delete this one. Boop. Would it make more sense to just work off a plane here? I think it does. So let's do that. So let's do flip my selection, delete faces. I'll snap it to the body, I think. So if I go snap, and then we'll just snap the first edge here. Let me see where this starts here. It starts kind of like just below this thing. It's not perfectly under it. Put it like there. And I'm gonna draw the shit going down. Another concern I was having was like generally the goal was to make this a print and then to sell the print, and then make things just to sell, but the problem is it's taking so long that it's almost, I don't think it's financially viable. Because if it takes me like, let's just say like 3 weeks to make this print, and there's also the great, big potential that no one actually buys it. Or when they do buy it, maybe like 3 people buy it and it's selling at like what, like I don't know exactly, like let's say $10. So you get $30 for 2 weeks of work. And so it's like how how financially viable is it? How long can you do that for before you realize like it's not possible? I guess the cool thing is like you could create exactly what you want, and the people who do buy it really enjoy it, but then it's like you can't do it for long, I think. So it's like kind of just me thinking out loud. Um, or potentially if I do this whole process and then do it again and do it a third time, fourth time, and each time it gets faster, and then maybe it's exponentially faster, so then you could end up pumping out like 10 models, and if even if they sell at the same rate over time, it would be fun. I don't know. Anyways, I kind of got sidetracked. Turn that off, and then save. Let's try scaling it up first this time, and then I'll extrude it later. So try the little slightly different process here. So Alt S and scale it based on normals. Basically pull it out a little bit. And then now we'll extrude it in. So extrude, right click to snap back, Alt S to scale in. Go in a little bit more than we need. And then shift in. Generally where I thought the pocket would be. Trying to see if it reads. Maybe the faceted faces would ultimately not be like that, so it'll read better. So for example, if I made this one shade smooth for now, that reads much better. And it would be maybe closer to what the high poly would look like. Um, so generally I think it's worth doing, but I want to go back to flat shade for now. Let's mirror it. Let's see, so let's try F3, mirror based on my center cube. I don't need any clipping stuff, so we're good. And I'll just apply it, Control A. There you go. So now we did the pockets. We could do the back, would be pretty quick and easy, I think. So we also duplicate this guy. Just mirror it, center the pivot. Try to rotate this. Kind of like the organic placement of it, where it's like it's not going to be the exact same. Something like that. Do I like that? The reference is doing something kind of interesting. It's actually doing kind of this. Like the bottom, like the top kind of starts here, and then the bottom has this like drooping. So like it kind of loops back in, has like a droop to it, like that. But I think it would be cool if it broke the top silhouette, so I'll do that. And it has that droop, maybe like droplet droop, double D droplet droop. Maybe add an extra edge here. Actually, no. Let's ooh, I can't do that. I wanted to add more geometry there, but let's wait on it. I think I don't want to add geometry there, and then later maybe if I do multi-res it, we'll let the multi-res handle it, not just add an edge, because this looks crooked, so I'm gonna fix it. and see how it looks. I think I did the droplet effect too extreme. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Let's delete it. Let's start over. I don't like it. Bring that over. Try flipping this, see what that feels like. This side has the extra edge loop that I kind of wanted to, so pull down the edge loops down here. I think I went too far with that shape, so that feels better. Yeah. Might pull this up a bit more. Actually, you know what? It's not breaking the silhouette on the side. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I won't do that. Let's pull that back down. Let the shape be simple, like just a constant line there. Yeah, I like that better. Let's kind of make this not crooked. I think yesterday we streamed and we just let a Discord chat kind of take over the sound and voice, and I don't know if it was better or worse, but I think people don't mind it, so it's like probably doesn't matter either way. So it's kind of nice in that sense. I could try mixing those in if I get bored. I guess one downside though is like when I would basically record people and the people who join and they don't know I'm recording, then it's kind of like this weird middle ground. It's like, you were recording this whole time? So it's kind of bad in that way. Or maybe people say something that's kind of not what they're supposed to be saying. I end up recording it. But I don't know. Did I make it too small? I might have made it too small. Get a little bit bigger. And we can mirror this one. We can also do it this way. Let's see. Let's go mirror. Let's apply. So used to doing that way, I just did it. You can combine these. Let's go edit. Make sure the normals are correct. We probably want to add 2 more in the back. We're just in the reference. There's just 1. Yeah, probably just 1 is fine. It's a little less busy that way. Delete the other side. Okay. Let's center it here. What time is it? It's 2 p.m. now, so we got 30 minutes left. I kind of really want to texture paint again, so it's kind of fun working through different projects where I kind of get the itch to do the other side, some other skill sets. So I really want to make something look really saturated and pop with color. Just been lost in the faceted faces of sculpting and modeling for so long. Count that. Let's see. Yeah, it's cool. I think it works from this distance, so it's fine. Not sure about this angle yet. We'll leave it for now. We could add the pants pockets in the back here. Let's do the same thing. Potentially we could start with the plane, which might be faster and sort of lean the faces, but I like having it right side up like this when I start. It just feels more, I don't know. It's like Probably like a 1 or 2 click difference between starting with the plane, but it feels right to me. I don't know. Let's start right here. Let's add an edge here. Trying to decide where to put these, how high to put it, all that stuff. This will be the top flap. Oh, hey, Mr. Waffles. No, this isn't pre-recorded. The cool thing about I think adding this thing is it'll give it like a line and it kind of shows you the contour of the butt. So adding that I think will help. So I'm gonna go see. I'm crazy at Blender. Uh, I've been using it for about a year. What helped a lot for me was I was basically going into the Blender Discord like every day almost, and there's people who help a lot, and I can link the Discord if you want. I started off really simple. I just started with like, how do I extrude a face out, or how do I make like a door, or how do I make like a, and then you just like eat it like little by little, and then you get better. But I can link the Discord. It's like it's always active. It always has people in it. So there's a lot of like helpful people in there. Sometimes you'll have people who just they're really busy and working and they don't want to talk, so you have to like find the right group. But you'll learn a lot from the people in there. And the moderators are really active too, and they're really kind. I'm not sure, like I think it's my second time advertising the stream, but I wonder like if I keep advertising it, maybe it'll like overflow with people and then like be like too many people and then it'll be like too many trolls or something. Hopefully that doesn't happen though. I think it's cool if like it already has like a lot of variety of people. Like you almost never see like if you go for like a month, you'll always see like someone new, which is cool. Because I don't like it when you end up going to the same server and the same like 5 people are always there, and it's kind of like you already like talked about everything you wanted to talk about, and it kind of like gets a little boring. But no, you just made your first thing. Oh, that's cool. Star Wars blaster. Yeah, like this is one of the things I think Blender makes it almost it's like really powerful is like you could be editing, like you could do box editing, box modeling, and then right away you could go sculpt mode. If you do control tab, there's the different modes, and you could just go object mode, edit mode, edit mode, sculpt mode, and you can go to edit mode, you can go sculpt mode, so you're selecting like 3 verts at a time, and then back to edit mode to add faces or whatever, back to sculpt mode. Uh, those videos, 100 people make a train car move. You mean like 100 people get together and push it together, you mean? Sorry if it's a little delayed too. I think there's a natural like 30-second or 20-second delay, so you might mention something, I'll talk about it like 20 seconds later. Gonna scale it in. Gonna add some cuts here to help the form more. I used to use ZBrush, and it has really powerful sculpting, and I'm trying my best to like learn as much of the sculpting in Blender, and I'm not 100% sure if it's on par, but it feels really, really good, so I basically stopped using ZBrush, but I'm not sure yet if I hope they keep making the sculpting stuff better because it's already really amazing. There's so many options, like all these on and off buttons and control of like how strong it is with the. I think what it still lacks is like doing really, really, really high poly, but maybe that's unavoidable. Like you always get lag, but um, I'm making this. I want to make it as a print that I could sell. Like I could sell the STL of the posed character, but it's still taking a long, long time. So it's like I feel like it's not financially viable. But what I'm hoping is like I'll slowly build up like stuff to sell, and I could slowly replace my daytime job. But for now, it's just like the very early stages of like, is this can I even do this? Is this financially viable? And like, but generally, it's like the cool thing is I don't have to like work under someone. So it's like, what do I feel like making? And then if it doesn't sell, it's because of my own like, it just wasn't working somehow. But I still get to do what I thought was cool at the time. For those games. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna make it like it's gonna be like a sculpted print. So I wasn't gonna sell it as a rigged character. At least that's what I'm thinking so far. Or maybe I will, but I'm not sure because I don't know if I want to get into like making clean topology and um making the weights perfectly clean. Like I feel like I don't want to do that. I just want to make like a cool thing that you print and then you could still maybe sculpt on it, but then you could like adjust the sculpt if you knew how. But even if like people did like they did like use it for those games, like I don't mind at all. I don't care. Like you bought it and you could do it like whatever you want with it. So, but that's like still a ways away. So I have to go in like 20 minutes. So hopefully get this done here. The only thing I kind of don't want people to do is like they'll buy it and they'll flip it. They'll either like literally just buy it, download it, and then resell it at a slightly lower price. And also, or like maybe like do like I don't mind if they make big modifications, like they add like a whole new outfit or something. Like that's totally fine. You could sell that. But then like if they just buy it and then like maybe inflate the boobs bigger and then sell that, then it's kind of like well that's kind of like you just resold it. But like I don't know. But I mean, I guess like that's kind of the trade-off of like a digital asset where there's like infinite copies. So if it's like physical, like a physical print, then it's like one to one, and I mean, there's obviously people could just like make a cast of it too. That's kind of the thing. But with digital, it's like you just download it and you have infinite. So, and then it's kind of nice on the seller side because you don't have to like have an inventory, like a stock full of like 50 items. You just upload it and then it just sells on its own. But the trade-off is everyone else can do that too with yours, your thing. Oh, thanks for subbing. Um, it's kind of weird, but I always wanted to get into animations, and like when I do animations, it's really fun. But then I end up doing other things. So like it feels like dessert, where it's like, oh man, I can't wait to like I'm saving this. I'm gonna make it so delicious and great looking. Like I'm gonna do all this fun like actiony like stretch animation. But then like I end up like doing other things. Like I get bored or I'm like, you know what, this will be fun to do, and I never touch it. I never do it. Because it takes so much time too to like do animations, and I haven't fully found a pipeline yet too, where like it would probably help a lot to know it's like, okay, this is a stage where I make video footage of me doing the thing, and then this is how I upload the video, and this is how I time it. So I don't know. Yeah. I remember I did take classes in school a long time ago for animations, and I was not really that good. And I remember one day this guy came in. He was a bit older than me, and this was in college. And he was like amazing. He was like ready to be hired. He was almost just taking the class to get like brush up, and like he just crushed me. Like it was weird. It was like I was like I would put all this effort in for like a week, and I'd be like, yes, all right, here we go. This is looking pretty good. And then we turn in our projects, and then his was like literally watching like a solid mode preview of like a Pixar animation with all these subtle secondary like animations. He had all these cool tricks. He would kind of teach us more than the teacher, where he'd be like, I have this plugin that would put a frame in between two frames, and I was like, I just got crushed. Like, oh, that's what real animator is, and I just gave up, which was probably not the right response, because I think it was like, if I'm trying to get a job, and he applied to the same job, like I'm not gonna get that job, and I just gave up. Like, um, and then I think I started doing more modeling, or what was or maybe like I was like I started modeling, and I was like I don't think I understand like how shapes work. So I started drawing after that, and then I think that helped me with modeling more, and I kind of stayed with modeling, I think. But I think what I think, I think what I'm talking with you, I think it slowly went into autopilot. I don't know if this is right. Let's see if I do shade smooth on these, and then get out of this wireframe. Okay, that's yeah, I kind of went to autopilot there. Don't know if that was good. So let's see. If I see from a distance, that's not that bad actually. I think the curve could be different though. The top's fine, I think, but I think the way this cuts off would be more interesting. You might do game creation for college. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think there's so many more options because I went to school like a long time ago. Like when I went to school, there wasn't really a lot of game creation. It was more the closest thing was like they just had animation, like 3D animation, and everything was like just just like everything was in there, like the making the models and then um, the 100 people thing, or oh, oh, oh right, oh right, yeah, that's the I think there's like the challenges. There was like there's another Discord that does that. I forget which one it was, but everyone has like is they're given like this the same starter assets, and then you do your own take on it, and then they kind of compile it together. Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing to do. In the reference, this thing is bolt like going this way. It's like arcing this way to show like the contour of the butt. I think this is also supposed to sit further this way, so let's try that over here. It's like here. I could also mirror it so I can get an idea of what it's supposed, what the final is going to look like on it. It might be bigger too, actually, like this. So it shows like the contour of the butt with this line. Yeah, I don't, someone else mentioned that where they put a link, but it hides it. So I have to figure out how that works. Uh, I'm actually not sure. I'm gonna have to like look that up later and then figure out how I could let that happen. Um, or maybe that's not possible, but I'll ask like ChatGPT and stuff and figure out how to show links. Yeah, sorry about that. I gotta go in like 10 minutes too, so I'll probably do it that next time. There's someone in the Blender Discord named CD, and he actually participated in that one. He made a really cool one where he made the character I think it's the Ultramarine from Warhammer, and he's like running and he does this epic jump landing, and they're like running left to right, and CD's like really good at like kind of like production, like compositing, I guess, where he puts everything together. But if you ever see me in the Discord, like you can always say hi and then try to like remind me if we talked before. So I'll probably forget. I never really remember names, so these look like French fries. I think I gotta eat two before I go. These look really thick. I probably need to get out of a solid or smooth shaded on these just to see what that feels like. I should probably mirror it too though. Let's see. I want to add like little almost like eyelash style fur bits on it so it looks like it's torn. Let's see how that feels. Um, yeah, I'm just trying mirroring it and see if that helps it. It's mirrored on the cube in the center of the world. And let's see. That's not the right button. There. So from like the side, that kind of feels okay because I could see the detail that's interesting. It breaks up the like inner silhouette. This looks okay. This might be there's like too much empty space. Maybe I could add a seam here. And this could be more rounded, I think. So Wiffles. Oh, okay, so your name will be Wiffles? Okay. I think also like if you were doing game development stuff, you could join the if you haven't already, like the Unreal, what's it called? I could link that one too. Where is it? I can't remember what the icon is. Oh, there it is. It's called Unreal Source. So that one is the Unreal one. And there's a lot of helpful people there too. But I think generally there's a lot more intermediate people to advanced. So when you ask like simple stuff, they get pissed off. But you could still like use the chats and still see what people are doing and ask like questions as you go. But that one's really good for like learning Unreal. And Unreal's always improving, so I think that one is the one to go with. But back to flat shaded. Try adding a seam in the center. So look at the geometry to kind of match up the cuts here so that they deform roughly the same. Potentially this is a bad idea too because it's creasing here, but we'll see. So you tried Unity and then you tried Unreal. Or no, Unreal doesn't work. And God's telling you not to try. Um, yeah, it's weird. Yeah, Unreal's kind of scary. That's also part of the reason why I don't go into Unreal because I leave my task manager open where I could see the processes and like how much GPU is being used and CPU. And it's kind of scary because sometimes when it compiles textures, it uses up like 100% of your computer or 100% GPU or CPU, I can't remember, but it's like damn, it's like I don't know, it's like a lot of stress on the computer, I think. And also like the new I think it's like Lumen where it like uses like real like not real is it like real-time bounce light like simulating real-time bounce light where it updates this broad like general idea of where the bounce light is going, or it's like super heavy for little computers, I think. So you need like a lot of VRAM or like power or something. I guess I'll put this like roughly at the center line. Maybe that's where the seam like goes away. And then we can see if this feels okay. Do a shade smooth on it. It's really pronounced right now, but maybe later it won't be. Or maybe I would make it pronounced because it's like a printed like that. And you could see it better that way. But there's like a line there, so it breaks up the form a bit. It shows you the contours of the butt too, and like how this form's happening, which is interesting. I'll leave it for now, but if I decide to delete it later, I'll just delete it, so it's not that big of a deal. Just kind of looking at the overall shape again. Maybe I could test. I feel like it's going to be a waste of time, but I could test out how adding like little pieces would work. Could add like a cube. And I'll just like quickly test out how this would feel. And say it had like one subdiv on it, and I could shade smooth it. And we could just kind of test out. I could maybe make them larger than life, so then they read better. But generally they would kind of be like kind of scattered like this on the edge. I could probably make them one group too, so they're not cluttering the area. I think, I mean, Unity might be a good option too still, because they're like they released like an update. I think it was Unity 6 or 5 or something, where they got rid of the old naming convention and they just went straight to numbers like Unreal. I mean, if you make something fun to play, I guess that's the main thing too, so it doesn't really matter. Um, and if you do like VR chat stuff, it's good to know Unity. Or I think like also I was talking about this with someone and they said that like some of the mobile games like there's like Hearthstone or something use like a modified version of Unity. So you could it's still like translatable for like big games too. And like I think Rust runs on Unity. Am I gonna change the color? No, I could later go back and then add textures and color, but the goal for this one is just to emphasize the shapes of things because it's just gonna be a print, like a resin print. So like the goal is to make it look as good as possible with like just a shape, like a marble statue. Um, what's also like kind of interesting is like kind of like when you paint the face. Um, Sometimes like you could do crazy stuff with like makeup. So like you can completely change the way like the structure of the face feels just based on like where the colors are, like what's being emphasized, like this area comes forward, this area gets pushed back, like especially like if you've seen like TikTok videos where like people paint away like the shape of their nose and make it like very narrow. So you can kind of get away and do a lot of cool stuff with like texturing the face. But in this case I want to like make the shape just it's weird like when you see like 3D scans, oh that's my timer. When you see like 3D scans of like really attractive people and it's like wait what, like why do they have like such a massive chin, like or you'll notice like they don't necessarily look that attractive when it's like without color and it's just the raw shape, which is kind of weird. It's like a mental um thing. Or like sometimes people look really good with makeup, but then when they don't have makeup, it's like their face structure almost supports the makeup. It's weird. I don't know. I'm kind of like going on. Oh, what are the spikes? It's just me like experimenting with the idea of like adding ripple cuts. So like if you ever seen pants with like it was just a quick test to see like would this work. But it's almost like how the pants are ripped. And I'm also like I'm just kind of babbling and kind of going to autopilot, so I'm not really thinking. But like generally it'd be like this. And this is also why I love like versus Maya. Or, you know, like Maya, you can't do this. You can't go into edit. Actually, I don't know. Maybe the newer versions can, but in Blender, you go edit mode. You know, you do your thing, building it out, placing it, and then in sculpt mode, you kind of go in with like a brush basically and just push and pull it. So I don't know. I don't like the fact that you said they look like spikes probably means it doesn't work. But that's the general like idea. Like after this stuff would have this would be higher res with like wrinkles and maybe it would also have like a like more rigid shape, but then this would be the shapes of the rip stuff. And you can see from a distance how it reads. It kind of works maybe, like right here. So it reads like the tear, like the torn up part. But yeah, but I gotta go. Thanks for tuning in, and like definitely try joining the Discords because I think like when you think about going to school, I think school is more important like in the past, but now like everything's online, so you could get help doing something that you want to do very specifically like online. So joining things like the Discord where you work on stuff and then you have people also working on this like the same program is super helpful. So just try like joining the Blender Discord and you can like say hi. If you kind of join and the people there aren't really, you're not really vibing with them, you could join back like 2 hours later or the next day and try seeing like another group, and you'll find people that you kind of mesh better with. So you'll see there's tons of people in there, so it's always nice. So